Hey guys. Let's review Fluance RT85 reference high fidelity vinyl turntable record player. Definitely recommend this turntable. I believe it is probably the best turntable under $1,000. So easy to set up. Sounds amazing. I mean, the stylus on this turntable alone is worth half the price of the turntable, and you get an acrylic platter. The turntable is dead silent. Even when playing with speakers on the same surface, there is no resonance. It comes out of the box exactly as it is stated. When I set it up, I used the suggested settings. The weight is spot on. I set it the tracking force as recommended and then put it on a scale, and it was within 0.002 grams. I set the anti-skate and then tested it, and it was perfectly still. When I pulled out my protractor, the cartridge was already aligned. So easy to set up and easy to listen to. If you're looking, stop now. This is a fantastic turntable. This turntable produces so much detail. A very spacious soundstage with wonderful reproduction of the instruments and vocals. I can really get an idea of where everyone was standing in the recording studio. I can't say enough about the quality of the Ortofon 2M blue cartridge. That, combined with a great tone arm, a plinth that is built on top of rubber spring-loaded feet, and an acrylic platter. It is going to be hard to beat this combination for less than $1,000. It is very easy to set up. As I previously stated, just follow the instructions and you are off and running. You can trust that head shell will be properly aligned and that the tracking force and anti-skate will be accurate. The amount of detail that Fluance put into building this turntable really shines through. It even comes with white gloves to keep fingerprints off of the beautiful finish. The motor is dead silent and the speed control really works. There is no detectable wow and flutter with this turntable. Even the cueing lever is top-notch. There really is nothing about this turntable that I find to be a negative. If this turntable were double the price, I could still justify recommending it. You will not be disappointed. If you find my review to be useful, please take the time to subscribe. It is helpful. Thank you for your time and enjoy your new turntable. I'm 1 week in with my RT85, walnut, and loving everything about it. About a year ago I got into vinyl. I started with an Audio Technica LP60, which I thought was an excellent starter table. I quickly got bitten by the bug, and have been obsessed with vinyl records ever since. For the past 3 months or so I had been researching what my next turntable would be. While I really liked the LP60, it has its limitations, and also much of it is made of plastic, with little possibility of adjustments and/or upgrades. After quite a bit of research, I honed in on the $500 price point. I also had certain features that I wanted to ideally come equipped with the table. I had already upgraded my speakers to the Klipscha RP160M, which I also love. From what I read, your speakers and your cartridge should give you the biggest boom for your buck when upgrading your turntable setup. So I focused on getting the best cartridge I could find that comes in around that given price. I also ideally wanted an acrylic platter, auto stop, removable headshell, 33/45 adjustment without moving the belt, and good-looking aesthetics and overall design of the table and the features. The Fluance RT85 was really the only one that answered all of these bells. Along with the features I already named, the RT85 comes with a few other more subtle perks. I really enjoy the way the S-curved tone arms look, and also the feet on the table are well designed, have a nice look and feel to them, and are very easy to adjust. There are also only 3 of them, which helps make balancing a bit easier, more forgiving. The box was shipped well, arrived in great condition, and the contents were well protected. Instructions were very clear and easy to follow. They even throw in white gloves to wear as you put everything together to keep things clean and free of fingerprints. The walnut finish looks great. It's lacquered, so it has an almost piano-looking finish, but with the wood grain. It's beautiful to look at. My initial test was throwing on side A of Kidda by Radiohead. And true to the song title, everything was in its right place when the needle dropped. Since that initial play, I've thrown quite a range of tunes at the RT85, from acoustic indie, to deep bass electronic, to jazz. Everything sounds fantastic on this turntable. I'm loving the Ortofon 2M blue cartridge. Just a quick side note. There is no built-in preamp on this table, so you will need to consider that. I'm using a sheet mono with mine, and I highly recommend that as well. Now back to spinning and grinning smiley face. Fluance hit a home run with this one. A few years back I purchased a RT82 from Fluance and always thought it was a beautiful piece of equipment and sounded okay, but didn't wow me. I sold it and moved on. Project Carbon debut, Audio Technica LP120 and various other old school TTs. I am on Amazon one day and see this, I start looking into it and I'm interested, compared specs, reviews and dug deep into this table. I waited a few weeks and thought with all these features, I have to try this. It's like Fluance sat down and said, you've heard the people, give them a reference turntable with all the features at a fair price. In my opinion, they did it. Everything about this table is spot on, the clarity, the motor on the side, a acrylic platter, a Ortofon blue and no built-in preamp that could interfere with the sound. I am not a audio snob or do I subscribe to the nosecone that the more it costs the better it will sound. I just love the warm rich sound of vinyl and this table produces exactly that. Fluance, get ready, because when these catch on, I think you're going to be busy. I've had a Rega P1 for a while, connected to a vintage NAD 3020i amp. And even though it was a terrific starting point to get back into high-quality vinyl playback, I soon had an itch to move up the audio ladder, so it was off to the interweb and YouTube. After many, many hours of research, I decided that the Fluance RT85 would be the next logical move. Tons of good reviews from consumers and experts alike, plus everyone mentioned the bang for your buck it offered. Fluance's reference series starts with the RT82 to their current flagship RT85. Each model has the same plinth and tone arm but upgrades the cartridge or the platter as you move up the chain. This means that you can purchase the basic model and have an upgrade path to the RT85. It's comforting to know you can start with the model to suit your budget and move on when and if you feel the need to do so. I was initially thinking of buying the RT84, which is the same as the RT85 but with an aluminium platter as opposed to the acrylic, but as there was only a £50 difference and I noticed the upgraded platter would be more than that alone, I decided to treat myself. For all models, buying the next one up is cheaper than upgrading later. Components. The RT85 has the aforementioned acrylic platter, weighing in at 3 pounds, which, by all accounts, is something you'd find on turntables way more costly than this, and because of the material it's made from there's no need for a mat, you simply place your record directly on it. Very noteworthy is that the RT85, and RT84 for that matter, has the highly rated Ortofon 2M blue cartridge and stylus included. Check to see how much that is and you'll see what incredible value this package is. The cartridge is pre-attached and aligned to a head shell which slips onto the S-shaped tone arm. Also included are a set of good quality RCA leads, a grounding cable, a power supply, dia, obviously, and even a small bubbler level for ensuring any adjustments you make are spot on. The plinth is a heavyweight MDF and the smoked dust cover has a nice feel to it. Oh, they've even thrown in some cotton gloves so you don't get any skin oil on the belt when you attach to the motor. Finally, the speed is selectable on the on-off control knob without the need to lift off the platter and move the belt manually. Hallelujah. Setup. The manual clearly guides you step by step, so it's a breeze, and even I managed it in about 15 minutes. Pop on the platter and pull the belt that's already rounded to the pulley. Screw in the head shell to the tone arm. Attach the counterweight and turn until the arm floats horizontally. You then turn the weight dial to correspond to the recommended setting for your stylus, 1.8 gm for the 2M blue, and turn the anti-skating wheel to be the same. It's worth saying that once I'd done that, I thought I'd check it with a stylus scale. To my absolute surprise, the scale showed exactly 1.8 gm. Finally, you connect the RCA leads, the grounding cable and the power supply. Done. Operation. Switch the on/off knob to 33 or 45, move the tone arm towards the platter and it will start to spin. There's an auto stop feature which is on by default, but you can turn it off, slide switch on the back, if you don't want it. The platter will continue to spin for about 20 seconds or so once it reaches the run-out groove. Ideal if you want to hear the lock groove sound on Sgt. Pepper's, but just not forever. I like the feature as occasionally I've fallen asleep and the stylus is being worn down playing nothing. The cueing lever drops the tone arm very gently onto your disc, but, and this is the only negative I've found, the lever does feel a bit plasticky and cheap. A pity since the rest of the unit is so well built and high quality. No matter, it's only a cueing lever. Sound quality. Okay, this all means nothing if it sounds dreadful. Now bear in mind that I've only had this for a day and the stylus would take circa 50 hours to run in, so this is just an initial impression. In a word, wow. It sounds fantastic and will only get better. The soundstage is wide, deep and rich, albeit a little brighter than the Rega. The Ortofon Blue is revealing detail in records that I've not heard before, and I can't wait to listen to my collection all over again. Looks bloody gorgeous in my opinion. I went for the walnut veneer and combined with the acrylic platter, it's stunning. Have a look at my photos if you need proof. Conclusion. I can't believe what Fluance have produced for the price they're asking. You may not know the name, but, believe me, they will become more popular as the word spreads on how good their turntables are. Highly recommended.
Hope you enjoyed the video. You guys can initiate a discussion in the comment box, if you have any different opinions about the contents in this video. Be the first to start the debate in the box below. Purchase links related to the products in this video are kept in description. We will be grateful if you could please make your next purchase from that link, as this will help us to grow our channel. Good morning, good evening and good night, whichever part of the world you are from. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected. I will assure you to make quality and interesting videos in future. This is Jason Peter, signing off.